You know what? All I'm gonna say is, this is the volume. It's been building. It's almost reached that glass ceiling. On that day, we will chant black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. All the haters will be mad. We can ask them, aren't you glad? Day of infamy. It will be our symphony. On that endless day of jamming, the question will be, where were you when the bees became canon? Let's get to the video. What is up, Geeky Saying Army? It's Canon.
It's Jessie.
And we are the Geeky Saying Couple, and today we are bringing you a new Bumblebee video. No, Jess did not know any of that was going on. Let me unzip this now. Okay, so I originally said in several videos that, well, in one video and on Twitter, that me and Jess were going to hold off doing any more RWBY videos until Volume 8 came back. That's why our CRWBY reactions have been delayed and all that, just because we want to wait and do those, plus go back and watch the, Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I've also been battling a cold.
Yeah, like right the day that we were going to do our first reaction, she got a cold. So I decided to wait, didn't want her to do it being sick. So CRWBY reactions, plus reactions like to the trailers, the shorts, Volumes 1 through 6, and the first chapter 7, since we had technical issues when we first did Volume 7, will come after Volume 8. Our RWBY fairy tale videos will come back when Volume 8 does, which is really, I think by the recording of this video, it's only like 2 weeks away.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think RWBY comes back in about 2 weeks. So this video should be up on Wednesday. So, wanted to do this video because really an unprecedented thing is going on right now. I know Cal and Hunter did a video about this same theory, so I want to give credits to them if we regurgitate anything they said. Link to their video will be in the description below. Please go subscribe to Cal. She's really what got me to want to do RWBY reactions and all that. So she's a great RWBY tuber. So yeah, go subscribe to her if you aren't already. And go watch that video. It's a really good one, especially with Hunter sitting there slowly going insane, because you'll understand when you see it. But this theory has actually been going on since Chapter 7 of Volume 8, and I remember seeing people talk about it, but I didn't think much of it yet, because I don't like getting behind theories 100% until we see what's going to happen. But some people did artwork of it, and it's just grown into the 100% supported theory of what's going to happen for Bumblebee to finally either kiss or confess. So what is the theory? Okay, so last chapter, Yang, Jean, and Ren are going into Monstra to try and rescue Oscar. But the thing is, they've got a time limit. The Atlas military is going to drop a bomb on Monstra. Now, whether the bomb works or not, this could either make things worse, it could damage Atlas, it could make Monstra bleed out and it just create more Grimm, it could do nothing. Or it could blow up the whole entire whale and actually kill Salem and then her come back in a couple of hours, like Hazel said. Or Yang and them don't make it to the whale at all, which we've got a counter theory for that. So they're going, and the thing is, as of right now, RWBY, Weiss, and Blake do not know. And as of right now, we also don't know exactly what Weiss, Blake, and RWBY will be doing leading up to this, because we've seen a sneak peek and it was just them looking over Penny, pretty much. Now, whether they fight the Hound, Cinder, who knows, because Cinder is back on her way. So the theory is that they're going to somehow find out that Yang, Jean, and Ren are in the whale, and that there's a bomb going to be dropped on it, and either the bomb is going to hit and Yang and them get out in time, and another theory, which I believe, I don't know if Cal and Hunter are the ones that definitely came up with this theory, or if some others have theorized, or Raven is going to show up and save them. So we've got two diverging paths here that could, well, actually three, that could happen here. One is Yang and them make it out in time, but they don't, but, you know, Ruby and the others don't realize it. And also, really, what came from this is before Volume 8 started airing, Erin had posted a picture of herself, I believe it was Instagram.
I think so, yeah.
Of her doing vocal sessions for Ruby, and there was a box of tissues sitting there, and she confirmed that, yes, she needed tissues because something happened that, I believe her words were, that was very emotional, and it touched her
heart.
Yes. So right then and there, the Cogs and Bumblebee shippers' heads started spinning because Bumblebee means a lot to Erin. Erin, like she even says, she was the first Bumblebee shipper. She started shipping them even before we'd even seen Blake and Yang. And also, she confirmed that she had to do a lot of screaming. Now, of course, a lot jumped to the worst case scenario that something bad happens to Blake. I at first thought, you know, maybe it's fight screaming, you know, because it really does seem like Erin's not the type that's used to screaming. So it probably did take a lot out of her. But now with this whole plot of Yang being inside this well and they've got a time limit to get out before a bomb goes off, that got a lot of people's heads thinking that what if she screams because she thinks Yang is inside this well when it blows up?
That's where my mind starts going now. Like, as the volume has progressed, and I knew it had to do, like, for me, it has to do with something with Yang. Like, that has to be it. That has to be why she'd scream. Whether, like, I mean, I can't remember the things that I had thought of at first, but as each chapter has come out, it's starting then. As soon as you see Monstra land, okay, that's right then and there. It's okay. It's gonna have to have something to do with that.
Yeah.
And then right before the hiatus, it's that kind of sealed that more. Like, especially now that we know what's gonna happen. Like, they're supposedly supposed to be going in, so
yeah, because
has to do with that subject whether they make it in or not.
And like, it's wild because it seems like ever since chapter 1 of volume 8, CRWBY has been really building up Blake and Yang reuniting. Like, we've had episodes where they're obviously thinking about each other, you know, the whole Ruby thing, or like in chapter 7 when Blake says I'm, pauses, then looks outside and says I just hope the others are okay, which it's theorized that she was wanting to say she was worried about Yang.
And we've not had, I mean, yeah, there was the reunion at the end of 5,
yeah, but
we've never had a personal reunion between just the two of them.
Yeah.
Still. So it would definitely, I think it's that at least is long overdue for something, like, especially for something this extreme.
Yeah.
They need something like this.
Yeah, and like, so let's go over the main theories before we go more on that. So one theory is like Weiss, Blake, and Ruby finished doing what they're going to try and achieve, and like somehow either Weiss gets in contact with Winter or Winter and the Aesops find them, and you know, that's how they find out that Yang, Jean, and Ren are inside that well looking for Oscar. Now, how they deliver it, we're not sure. Like, it's like Cal and Hunter said, she could be like, Weiss, I'm sorry, and then boom, the bomb goes off. Like, you know, she says I'm sorry right as the bomb goes off. Or the bomb's about to go off, and she tells her, I'm sorry, you know, they're in there. Blake finds out, you know, and of course Ruby's going to freak out too, and Blake finds out, and they see it blow up, and she screams, and like the art that was shown was like she was trying to run toward the explosion, and Marrow was holding her back. Now, will it be Marrow that does that? I don't know. I think
he's the most likely candidate.
I don't know. I think either Weiss or Ruby make more sense.
Well,
to hold
I meant
her
like
back.
outside of Team Ruby. If it was any one of them, it would be Marrow to do something similar or like that in any way, just because of where he's headed.
And that's why, you know, Aaron had to scream. Now, of course, Yang being one of the 4 main protagonists, nothing's going to happen to Yang. She's not going to die in this explosion. I think it would be pretty badass if she somehow absorbed the explosion and walked out all powered up and all that, like out of the smoke and all that, like a boss, but that ain't going to happen. I don't think she could do that. So how do they get out? So this is where the two divert. Well, there's actually 3 that we thought of. Well, 1 we thought of, 2 the fandom and Cal and Hunter kind of supplied. So that's one of them, that they get out in time and they all reunite. And Blake, like, you know, of course, Ruby hugs her. Then either Blake joins the hug or Blake hugs her afterwards. And, you know, either she kisses Yang or she finally tells her that she loves her. The second one is time's ticking, and either Raven shows up to help them, or she shows up just in time to rescue them, because her semblance, the way it works, she has a portal tied to Yang, and she has a portal tied to Crow. Now, I do believe within this time, Crow and Robin will break out, and so they could go a couple of ways here. They could have Raven send Gira and the new White Fang to Crow. That way they can help, because there's really no point in taking all those people to Yang when they're inside this well. Also, you've got to kind of have Crow be free and out so they would have an escape, because if there's no, like, if Crow is with them, they're SOL.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. Like, I think I would like it if it was kind of a surprise, like a cliffhanger. And like Cal and Hunter said, you hear the portal opening and you just see Yang's reaction, then the episode ends. But I'd be okay with either Raven shows up, she helps them find Oscar, maybe help fight off Hazel, since, you know, Hazel's not fully defected yet. And they get out that way. Like, you know, Raven finally says, screw this, opens it and says, get through the portal, and they end up where Crow is. And Crow is more than likely reunited with Ruby and all them by then, and that's how they all reunite. The third thing is kind of us covering our bases in case for some reason CRWBY throws us a really big curveball and Yang, Jean, and Ren don't even make it inside the well. The way this could work is Winter still thinks that they went inside the well, even if they don't make it. So it could still work out that way if she runs into Weiss, Blake, and Ruby, and Winter, thinking that they're inside that well, tells them, and it blows up when they're not even in there. You know, and Oscar can get out by, like, Hazel and Emerald or something.
The thing is with that theory, I mean, honestly, Winter wouldn't know, because
she wouldn't.
They wouldn't be able to get close enough to see if they've entered or not.
Yeah.
It's pretty much her just relying on them.
Yeah.
Like, now, as for the Raven theory, okay, even if it's not this moment, which it would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But she was the only one we didn't see.
Yeah.
So that tells me that there's something more to this with her. Like, she's going to appear somewhere. And because she's the only one that didn't see. But we know she had to have seen the news.
That or Ty got a hold of her
or
or something. Yeah.
And sees this.
Yeah.
So that would make her make a beeline for Alice.
Yeah.
Because we know, and she knows she's not the perfect mother by far.
She showed at the end of Volume 5 that she does care.
That was a pretty big confirmation. She does care. And I've said this in past videos with Raven. You hold on to emotions like anger and things like that to cover guilt and the years of pain that you felt, because it's just better to cope with because you don't want to deal with it. But she loves Yang. So also in the things I've seen, like the pictures of her in bird form screaming at Ruby. What was that from?
That's from the comics.
Yeah. She's gonna lash out because of that, and that also fits in with my theory of Summer. Like, she really does care about Summer, but she's gonna put her anger and blame anywhere she can just to feel better in herself, to hide all of that guilt, to hide any worry. I mean, that's just Raven. I mean, especially if, we don't know a ton about their past, but we know enough that that's just kind of how she has always been her own and through her life. So, I mean, her showing up like this, it'd be a way, and we actually talked about this the other day, her showing up and being able to get them out and rescue Yang would be the first stepping stone in her repairing the bond with Yang. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be what everyone else thinks would be a great, mother-daughter thing, but it would be to see, like, her, like, even just to hug her. I've seen art of that, and it's, after rescuing her. I mean, it's not going to just, that may not happen right away.
Well, here's the thing. Hunter said that he thinks Blake and Yang might not kiss in front of Raven because Yang might, see Raven as a distraction, or like, hold up, I've got to handle this first or something. But seeing Blake and Yang confirm their feelings for each other could also help more of Raven also further her redemption by realizing that she left the guy she loves with, as Ty, and maybe give her more of a reflection of herself. And they said the same thing with Ren and Nora. Ren will see that and be like, oh crap, they almost lost each other. I need to get my head out of my ass.
Which would also add in with the state of how Nora is going to be when he does see her.
Yeah, and I think that's
going to tie into that too.
And this could set up a really sweet scene of her still laying in bed in the Schnee Manor and him sitting at her bedside and them having a moment together. I don't know if I'd want it to be the same episode because I don't want a Bumblebee versus Renora thing, like who did it better, happen. But
I think the it's definitely both there, and this volume has definitely showed it's, especially now that we know, and I've said in our analysis and everything, this is what Ren was leading up to and what he needed, because now this is going to tie into all of any of the theories that we've come up with, or whatever CRWBY puts that ties into that, and that's going to strengthen Renora. Like,
well, there's a reason why they decided for
they didn't
this
have this type of thing
happen.
Happen.
Well, it's also a reason why they decided to pick this moment for Ren's semblance to evolve, and he can read emotions now.
I'm saying that ties in, and that helping him completely understand, like, him seeing the others, like especially Blake and Yang. That's what I mean. Like, it all ties in. He'll have a better understanding and realize what he's doing.
Yeah.
That really, I mean, we've talked. There's issues on both sides between Ren and Nora, but it's mostly a Ren side. Nora's trying, and Ren's just not. Now he's fully capable and able to do this, and seeing it through others as well.
And another thing that was pointed out is that this could also help other characters like Winter, Harriet, Marrow realize the crappy decisions they've made just based out of loyalty to Ironwood. Because Winter's already showed confliction. Marrow's been showing confliction since like volume 7. And Ren kind of called Harriet out on, that she's bottling up her real emotions. So
well, we've started seeing sparks of Harriet's when Ironwood went and shot the other chairman. Like, so that's hers sparked there. Everyone else has slowly been sparking, but hers was the last one because, the hair. It kind of fits her story to be the last.
And of course, we've got to talk about, certain people saying that Bumblebee's moving too fast. It's moving too slow.
Do we realize how many years is into this?
Yeah, it's been years for us, but really, in RWBY, it's only been about 2 years at most, I think. Maybe a little over 2 years, I'm not sure. But, I don't know. Like, they've never really fully confirmed.
We're not sure of the full timeline, but it's definitely been a while, and it's definitely
It's definitely been longer for us.
Yes, but it's definitely a reasonable time frame for this
to realize you've got feelings for somebody and all that. But also, here's the thing. If they confess after this happens, if they kiss, there's still going to be people who saying it was rushed and all that. But the thing is, how do I want to word this? Blake's going to think Yang's dead. Unless you experienced your significant other maybe dead or had a near-death experience, I don't think in the back of your head you're going to think, oh, I'm moving too fast. No, you're going to either tell them you love them or you're going to kiss them because you're happy that they're alive.
Yeah, you're going to realize that you really don't have the time to waste in life right now.
Yeah, and Callan Hunter touched on this too. It's just like, if this happens, Blake, and who knows, Yang might show up right then and there after just a couple of moments of them thinking she's dead, or hell, it might be a couple episodes worth until they realize Yang's alive. Blake's going to be like, I should have told her, and stuff like that. I shouldn't have did this, should have done that. It's when you're in that,
may even go through Yang's mind before the bomb goes off.
Yeah, like I should have told her before I did
this.
Or, why didn't I say something to her when we split up, It could go both ways. So, I mean, that's what happens when you think you might have lost a person you really care about. You wished you had told, it's like, don't ever, not tell someone you love them before you leave the house, because
you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it could be the last time, So it's going to be one of those situations where either Yang or Blake's going to regret not telling the other how they felt. Then Blake's going to think Yang's dead for either a couple of minutes or a couple of hours, a couple of episodes. And then Yang's going to show up. And I really do expect her, we'll probably get... they need to do a Ruby and Yang thing because, we don't need they don't care about each other. It's
kind of given that we will get something between Ruby and Yang.
Because,
why wouldn't they?
Yeah. But I do see Blake running to her, hugging her.
Either a confession or a kiss. It's going to be one of the two. It's
going to
be one of the two.
It's the perfect build-up. It's what else can they do later in at this point in the series besides dragging it out, which, I will admit at this point, they need to do it at this point.
But, that's not the end of anything either, because it can still build. It's not... Because I know I've seen some things, not on Twitter, but other places, they're like, oh, well, after they kiss, that's pretty much it, and they'd be on the back burner again. No, a relationship doesn't just, okay, they kiss, that's the end. No, it's not a Disney movie. I'm sorry, it doesn't end that way. It's just, they keep building.
People in the RWBY fandom have a really weird perception of relationships.
There's some people that have posted the same thing also after the Renora kiss, and I'm just thinking, okay, no.
No, that's definitely not happened.
Yes, we got the kiss, but... There was obviously this current conflict they needed to have happen first. Mm-hmm. Whereas Blake and Yang's
they've
already
dealt
had
with together, really.
They had theirs.
Yeah.
So it can either happen before or after a kiss. And
yeah, just because
that's why they did it with both. They put the Renora kiss first and their major conflict after the knuckle first.
Yeah, because Renora as far as story beats go, Renora's always happened first.
Yes, but also think about it, in even real-life relationships, you have both things, where you'll build up like Renora did, mm-hmm. But there's still something blocking for your true, relationship your connection to grow. Yeah. Whereas Blake and Yang's, they had all the conflict, and then the big thing with Adam first, then it would lead to this. So, in real-life relationships work like that. It's meant for anybody to relate to. Not necessarily everyone's in the middle of war, but the concept. And a lot of people don't grasp that. Now, like I said, this has nothing to do with Twitter or a specific post that I've seen. I've just seen stuff around the internet and all social medias in general. So it's just, I don't understand where some of these things come from. It's
because people think that once a character's arc is over, that's all for that character, even though there are series out there that characters go through multiple story arcs of development.
Sailor Moon is one of them, and I'm currently watching that, both Crystal and the original. I mean, after the first kiss with Mamoru, she didn't suddenly stop and then, okay, well, there's the plans for the future. Let's build Crystal Tokyo. It didn't work that way, and that goes in the manga, the original anime, and Crystal. Same thing with Dragon Ball goes up and down with stuff. I mean, even though they're not more exactly relationship focused, it's there, but you see it.
No.
So. But
character development in Dragon Ball is a little bit more subdued than
it's
some
a little
series.
bit different, but you get the concept. It fits. The same thing with even a lot of the manga we have sitting right there on the shelf.
Yeah,
everything's different. But one thing I love about RWBY is it relates to. You can really relate to it. I mean, come on, go back and watch our video about Bumblebee, not just being a ship. I mean, that relates to my real life, and I know several others that can relate to a lot of this stuff in RWBY. Like. I have friends that relate to Renora in a way, like, hugely. So you just really have to think about it logically, honestly.
And like, between Callan Hunter's video and like all the stuff I've seen on Twitter, Reddit, and all that, like that's the biggest reason why I wanted to make this and give our 2 cents on the whole theory, is because for the first time since Volume 6, the RWBY fandom, and in some ways. Did I say RWBY fandom?
Yes.
Damn it. I meant... Cut that out. 3, 2, 1, go. For the first time since Volume 6, the Bumblebee fandom, and kind of in a whole, the RWBY fandom, are kind of agreeing with one theory, and that's Yang being inside the whale and it blowing up is going to lead to the Bumblebee confession. And like the last time that really happened was when everybody was pretty much convinced that something was going to happen between Blake and Yang after they beat Adam, which it did. It was pretty much the setup for the confirmation of them having the same feelings for each other. And I mean, there's been small things, like in Volume 7, people wanted Yang to compliment Blake's hair and be all shy and goofy and all that. And
I'm sorry, I'm glad they did it the way they did, though.
Yeah, it still happened.
It still happened, but it wasn't what people thought, but there's no way to say it. That was complete 100% gay panic, and that's how it just happened. It wasn't going to be like, oh, I like your hair. No. It's going to go, it shadowed back to when she first saw Blake about her bow. So... when you check your nails on your prosthetic that doesn't have nails, you've been caught doing something. So yeah, and like everybody's saying that Blake was blushing because of the cold. That was no, everyone's face was red, but hers was like really red.
Thing is, you saw it form. Your face getting flushed from the cold just doesn't form like that. It was wild. Insane times. Fact,
and I've talked about her blush covered all right here.
Plus, you can see the
cold covers just here.
Also, she had blush lines.
Well, I know that, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
yes, I know.
The area of the coloration is definitely a thing too. So and everyone else was more faint. Yep.
But anyway, like, we just wanted to do this little video, just talking about, because like this theory is going really, really strong. And since, we are huge Bumblebee shippers, like since this theory is growing, Callan Hunter's done a video, we need to do a video on this real quick, even though I said no RWBY videos until Volume 8 comes back.
And with theories, we are, obviously everyone knows we're huge Raven fans too, so had to get that in there, especially with everything we've
since she's been included into this theory a little bit. And I mean, it's gonna be quite the reaction. We've got balloons and poppers ready. We just gotta figure out how to set up the balloons. But I don't think there's really much else I can say. Just that I've just noticed since at least chapter 1 of volume 8 when they had Blake react to Yang leaving, like there was, I mean, maybe not much that one because it's just the first episode, but then as the episodes went on, they started throwing these little hints that Blake and Yang miss each other, they're thinking about each other, and then the whole, do you think she thinks less of me? Yeah, Ruby, that all happened. And then just the little things they've had Blake do. It's like, yeah, they're building toward them reuniting. It may be subtle, but it is definitely something they're building to. And now with this happening, and there may being a life or death situation here, and there is just right now no better way for them to finally give us the 100%
confirmation that everyone wants.
Yeah, because, I mean, we technically already know because Nora confirmed it in Volume 7 with her whole friends, huh? Just friends, There was that, and I mean, but you just never know how long CRWBY's going to want something to build, because that's one reason why, even though there's little ships that I do like in RWBY, I don't ship them as hardcore, because 9 times out of 10, they're like 0% going to be canon, like Rosebird, Summer, and Raven. I love that ship, but I'm not going to make a video on it because it's more than likely wasn't a thing. But also,
it'd be awesome if it ended up being something.
Yeah.
Because we don't know anything. We don't know much about them.
Well, the theory is that Team Stark was all just one big love fest.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Like Raven had the hots for Ty and Summer. Summer had the hots for Ty. Raven and Crow. Crow had the hots for Summer. There's even people who think Ty and Crow might have been something at one point. Like everybody just expects Team Stark to be like this couple swapping, like Crow and Raven being like these player siblings.
I still think my favorite art is the one is your sister stole my love.
Yeah.
Your love stole my
sister
or something like that. I still think that was the funniest one that I've seen so far. I do hope in the future though we learn more so we can do a video on that whole team. Like,
well, a lot of people are some are hoping that this kind of sets up at least Ty, Raven, and Crow fighting together. Like maybe they're the ones that fight the Hound or something.
Well, we know we're gonna get something at some point because we definitely need to learn more about Summer. Yep. So we're going to get something with the whole team. It's just it hasn't really been the right time.
Right now is about the best time we could like hope for.
Before that,
yeah. Because it's kind of hinted that Raven's the only one who can get there fast, like right away. And why would she not bring Ty? What?
What if something also sparks in Raven that she couldn't get to wherever Summer was in time to find her when she went off?
Maybe.
And this would be a way for her to try to make up for missing the opportunity to save somebody.
Yeah.
Because as far as we know, no one knows. Obviously, no one knows where, because that was a Summer thing. No one knows where she went. Well, maybe Raven had the opportunity to stop, like to try to go and find her, and when she tried, it was too late. So maybe this is her way of doing that. I just thought of that now.
Well, this video's went on long enough. We're over 30 minutes in. So that's pretty much the theory that the Bumblebee confession or kiss is going to happen in result to Yang being inside the whale and it blowing up. That's why Aaron had the scream, and that's why she cried while recording, because the thing that she is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Crap, I just had a brain fart. I had the word in my head and it's gone. Like, Bumblebee is very important to Aaron. So I always fear that if there was any time she was going to break down and cry because of something emotionally and important hitting her, it would be that. So we'll see. Hopefully this video ages like a fine wine. Hopefully it doesn't age like milk left out in the hot sun. But, I mean, it's a theory,
with a few extra stuff thrown in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a theory. Not saying it's 100% going to happen, but it kind of needs to happen at this point. Like, I just can think of no other way for them to put it in and make it like plot relevant to the main story. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways they could do it, but
this is just the perfect opportunity.
yeah. And if they don't, we're going to be doing a ranting video. Who knows? We might not. I might just do one because this one isn't known much for ranting, unless it's cosplay related. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button. Hopefully my little joke rap at the beginning didn't scare you off. She had no idea. I just told her don't look at the screen. Because if I looked up and saw her, I would have lost it. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, tell us what you think. All the links are in the description if you want to support us on Patreon, follow us on Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We're almost to 400 subscribers. Let's hit that very, very soon. As always, guys, it's Canon.
It's Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. Play some games. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.